Fabian Gottlieb von Bellingshausen, a Russian officer of Baltic-German descent in the Imperial Russian Navy, cartographer and explorer, ultimately rose to the rank of admiral. He participated in the first Russian circumnavigation of the globe and subsequently became a leader of another circumnavigation expedition, which discovered the continent of Antarctica. Bellingshausen started his service in the Baltic Fleet, and after distinguishing himself joined the first Russian circumnavigation of the Earth in 1803 to 1806, serving on the merchant ship Nadezhda under the captaincy of Adam Johann von Stern. After the journey he published a collection of maps of the newly explored areas and islands of the Pacific Ocean. Subsequently he commanded several ships of the Baltic and Black Sea fleets. As a prominent cartographer, Bellingshausen was appointed to command the Russian circumnavigation of the globe in 1819 to 1821, intended to explore the Southern Ocean and to find land in the proximity of the South Pole. The expedition was prepared by Mikhail Lazarev, who was made Bellingshausen's second-in-command and the captain of the sloop Murny, while Bellingshausen himself commanded the sloop Vostok. During this expedition Bellingshausen and Lazarev became the first explorers to see the land of Antarctica on the 28th of January 1820. They managed to twice circumnavigate the continent and never lost each other from view. Thus they disproved Captain Cook's assertion that it was impossible to find land in the southern ice fields. The expedition discovered and named Peter the First Island, Zavodovsky, Leskov and Visokoi Islands, the Antarctic Peninsula and Alexander Island, and made other discoveries in the tropical waters of the Pacific. Made counter-admiral on his return, Bellingshausen participated in the Russo-Turkish War of 1828 to 1829. Promoted to vice-admiral, he again served in the Baltic Fleet in 1830s, and from 1839 he was the military governor of Kronstadt, where he died. In 1831 he published the book on his Antarctic travel, called Double Investigation of the Southern Polar Ocean and the Voyage Around the World. Russians remember him as one of the greatest admirals and explorers. Multiple geographical features and locations in the Antarctic, named in honor of Bellingshausen, recall his role in the exploration of the southern polar region. Early life and career. Bellingshausen was born to a noble Baltic German family in the Laurentag Manor, Saaremaa, Governorate of Livonia, now in Selme Parish, Saara County, Estonia, then part of the Russian Empire. He enlisted as a cadet in the Imperial Russian Navy at the age of 10. After graduating from the Kronstadt Naval Academy at age 18, Bellingshausen rapidly rose to the rank of captain. First Russian circumnavigation. A great admirer of Cook's voyages, Bellingshausen served from 1803 in the first Russian circumnavigation of the Earth. He was one of the officers of the vessel Nadezhda, commanded by Adam Johann von Stern. The mission was completed in 1806. After the journey Bellingshausen published a collection of maps of the newly explored areas and islands of the Pacific Ocean. Service as captain. Bellingshausen's career continued with the command of various ships in the Baltic and Black Seas. From 1812 to 1816 he commanded frigate Minerva, and from 1817 to 1819 frigate Flora, both in the Black Sea Fleet. First Russian Antarctic expedition. When Emperor Alexander I authorized an expedition to the South Polar region in 1819, the authorities selected Bellingshausen to lead it as an experienced captain and explorer and a prominent cartographer. The expedition was intended to explore the Southern Ocean and to find land in the proximity of the South Pole. The preparation work on the two ships, a 985-ton sloop of war Vostok and the 530-ton support vessel Mirny, was carried out by Mikhail Lazarev, who had captained his own circumnavigation of the globe before. Bellingshausen became the captain of Vostok, and Lazarev captained Mirny. The journey started from Kronstadt on 4 June 1819, leaving Portsmouth on 5 September 1819. The expedition crossed the Antarctic Circle on 26 January 1820. On 28 January 1820 the expedition discovered the Antarctic mainland approaching the Antarctic coast at a point with coordinates 69th 21 feet 28 inches S, 2nd 14 feet 50 inches W, and seeing ice fields there. The point in question lies within 20 miles of the Antarctic mainland. Bellingshausen's diary, his report to the Russian naval minister on the 21st of July 1821, and other documents available in the Russian State Museum of the Arctic and Antarctic in St. Petersburg, Russia, were carefully compared with the logbooks of other claimants by the British polar historian A.G.E. Jones in his 1982 study Antarctica Observed. Jones concluded that Bellingshausen, rather than the Royal Navy's Edward Bransfield on 30 January 1820 or the American Nathaniel Palmer on 17 November 1820, was indeed the discoverer of the sought-after Terra Australis. During the voyage Bellingshausen also visited Ship Cove in New Zealand, the South Shetland Islands, and discovered and named Peter I, Zavodovsky, Leskov and Vysoky Islands, and a peninsula of the Antarctic mainland which he named the Alexander Coast, but which has more recently borne the designation of Alexander Island. Bellingshausen and Lazarev managed to twice circumnavigate the continent and never lost each other from view. Thus they disproved Captain Cook's assertion that it was impossible to find land in the southern ice fields. The expedition also made discoveries and observations in the tropical waters of the Pacific Ocean. Admiral, returning to Kronstadt on 4 August 1821, Bellingshausen was made counter-admiral. He fought in the Russo-Turkish War of 1828–1829 and attained the rank of vice-admiral in 1830. In 1831 he published the book on his Antarctic travel, called Double Investigation of the Southern Polar Ocean and the Voyage Around the World. Military governor of Kronstadt. He became the military governor of Kronstadt and died there in 1852. Legacy. Fadi Fadovich Bellingshausen is remembered in Russia as one of its greatest admirals and explorers. In the Antarctic, multiple geographical features and locations, named in honor of Bellingshausen, remind of his role in exploration of the southern polar region. Monuments. There is a memorial stone of von Bellingshausen on the previous site of La Rentag, Lahataguz Manor in Ozal, Saaremaa. There is a monument to Bellingshausen in Nikolaev, Ukraine. There is a monument to Admiral Bellingshausen in Kronstadt, named in honor of Bellingshausen Island in the Aral Sea. Bellingshausen Island in the South Atlantic Ocean, part of the South Sandwich Islands. Bellingshausen Sea in the Southern Ocean. Bellingshausen Station, a Russian base on King George Island, Antarctica. Bellingshausen Plate, an ancient tectonic plate. Bellingshausen, a crater on the far side of the Moon. Fadi Islands in the Laptev Sea coastal region, named after Bellingshausen's first name in Russian. Motor 1, also known as Bellingshausen, an atoll in the Pacific Ocean.